After the family reunion, I checked my bank account. It was wiped clean. My brother-in-law scoffed. We needed the money more than you. Shaking, I grabbed my bag and said, then you won't mind what happens next. Looking at your bank account, the one holding your entire life's work, and seeing it completely empty, every single penny gone. And then, your own brother-in-law, with a sickening smirk, tells you, we needed it more than you. My hands were trembling so hard I could barely reach for my bag, but I looked him dead in the eye and said, then you won't mind what's coming next. They just laughed, a cruel, dismissive sound. But then a loud, authoritative bang shook the entire house. The front door flew open and everything changed. You see, my name is Rebecca Mitchell, I'm 34, and I built my boutique clothing business from absolutely nothing. I'm talking blood, sweat, and ramen noodles for years. Last summer, during our annual family reunion, I checked my bank account and my heart literally stopped. Every single penny was gone. At first, I thought it was some kind of glitch, a banking error, anything but what it turned out to be. But then, my brother-in-law, Kyle, smirked from across the room and the air just left my lungs. We needed it more than you, he snorted, as if stealing my life savings was somehow justified, like it was a loan he was entitled to. That's when I knew. Growing up in Portland, I was always the responsible one. My mom and dad ran a small hardware store, working endless hours to give my sister Allison and me a comfortable, middle-class life. From the age of 14, I was working summer jobs, saving every single dollar. Allison, well, she was more about socializing and spending whatever money came her way. We weren't rich, but we had enough, and more importantly, my parents taught us the value of hard work and integrity. After getting my business degree, I spent 3 years grinding it out at a corporate retail chain, learning the industry inside and out. Every night, every weekend, I was poring over my business plan for a boutique that would showcase sustainable, locally made women's clothing. My friends thought I was absolutely crazy when I quit my stable job to launch Mitchell Designs with my last $5,000 in savings. Those first 2 years? Brutal. 18-hour days, living on instant noodles, reinvesting every single cent of profit back into the business. Then, 5 years ago, tragedy struck. My parents died in a head-on collision with a drunk driver. The grief was just overwhelming. Allison and I handled it so differently. I threw myself into work, burying myself in the business. She, on the other hand, spiraled into a deep depression, dropped out of college, and bounced between dead-end jobs. When our parents' estate was settled, we each inherited $75,000. I invested every dime of mine into expanding my store and building an online presence. Finally, I was seeing the business gain real traction. Allison met Kyle Henderson 3 years ago. Can you believe it? At a casino. 6 months later, they were married in this lavish ceremony that seemed completely beyond their means. Kyle worked in financial consulting, though he was always vague about the details. He was tall, with slicked back hair, and an expensive watch that always felt a little too flashy. He had this way of dominating every conversation, especially when it came to money. From the moment I met him, something about him just set off alarm bells for me. Your sister's business is cute, he'd said at their wedding reception, swirling expensive scotch in his glass, but real money is made in investments and assets, not selling clothes to hipsters. The comment stung, but I just brushed it off for Allison's sake. I really tried to build a relationship with Kyle, but over time, I started noticing these troubling patterns. When Kyle was around, Allison became quieter, constantly checking his reactions before she spoke. The vibrant, opinionated sister I knew seemed to just fade away. Full story on channel, link below. Watch what happened next.